All right, welcome in. Welcome back to the BFR Podcast presented by Sports Mockery. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM, joined by my good friend, co-host, Chicago Bears content creator, Ficky, and of course, our producer, Jack, is on the show as well. We'll be previewing the Bears versus Pats game that is home. I think it's the first of 3 at Soldier Field. So big stretch for the Bears. Lot riding, especially on this New England game, coming on 2 straight losses. So 4-4. We're going to start with kind of how we're feeling post last week, post that blowout loss to the Cardinals. I'll start with you, Ficky. How are you feeling, man? Have you kind of recouped? How do you feel heading into this matchup with New England?
I mean, like most games, you calm down a little bit after a couple of days, but I mean, the national media hasn't been great on us right now, and might be a great transition because we got our boy Jack over here, but there's kind of been some back and forth from some like respectable people on the DJ Moore discussion, right? So just to, give some context around this, DJ Moore walked out on one play in the second quarter, I believe, where Coach Flu said that he rolled his ankle, which is true, but then also he stepped out of bounds. And so you're taught, like, when you step out of bounds and you're not active in it, you walk off the field, right? So that Caleb or your quarterback doesn't get confused and throw the ball to you, which then would be a penalty, right? So there's that, right? And you can obviously, based off kind of the stuff that's happening, him underperforming this year, people being, you can read the tea leaves and be like, okay, the man's frustrated, which he's admitted he is. But the biggest thing is I saw people like Chris Long or even like Big Cat. Big Cat's like, trade DJ Moore. I don't know about all that, but Chris Long was like, the body language is not good. I think he even said trade DJ Moore. He's like, if you don't want to be on the team, then leave, right? And so seeing that from some like ex-players, not just like your normal hot take heads in the national media, but like some more of the respectable that are typically more neutral or tied into it, little shocking. And so I say that also with the context of, if you walk off the field, why do you walk all the way to the bench and sit down? Wouldn't you want to see the rest of your play, especially when Caleb is back there running for his life? Now, before I ask y'all, I'll give my opinion and say, like, I don't think you should trade. Well, you can't now. It's too late. But I don't think you should trade DJ Moore. You just signed him. The dude's a baller, right? He's earned that contract. But how are you both feeling about the DJ Moore situation now that's been a couple days from the game? And I'll start with you, Jack, particularly because you are the face of the DJ Moore body meter, I would say.
I've waited so long since Monday is when that video came out. I've been waiting until today to dive into this. I'm going to go step by step here. Number one, the play itself. We had a strong comparison with Hunter Henry on the game-winning play the same week, where Hunter Henry did the same shit. Stepped out, went out of the play. Did Hunter Henry start walking towards the bench and just like turn his back to the field? No. Was he hurt? No. However, I think that DJ walking off the field, like just blatantly walking, not like standing there watching the play, watching it develop or whatever, because it's still it went on for another 7 seconds.
He was running first. Yeah, he was running back there. Yeah, running for his life.
Dude, I can't even fucking fathom that. I can't even process that shit. Like when everyone's like, trade him, deuces, my boy, get out. Like, yeah, it's like working a job you don't want, that you're making it clear. It's like being like the little kid that's like, oh, I really don't want to be, like being sort of a smart ass about it. I get that he's not the problem and that DJ Moore is nowhere near the problem for this team not being as good as we thought. Not a problem. I can't imagine he's too big of a help right now. Whether it's the locker room or whatever it is, it's not like he's having crazy numbers. He had like one strong game, 2, maybe 1.5.
He's just to add context, he's underperforming in every metric in his career right now.
Totally believe it too. I think whatever week it was, I think DJ Moore is such a fucking problem. Like we talk about locker room cancer. I get he's cool and he's funny with Caleb, or he was at least in pressers, and like they had a thing, and that's cool. That's fine. That's great. I picture it in my head, and I don't know shit. Like I said, I'm a 5'8" kid out of the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I don't know fucking NFL locker rooms at all. I don't. I have to assume that there is so much tension in that room with DJ in there. I have to just picture it. Like his personality, one, it's like that funny kind of like smart ass.
It's dry.
Kind of,
yeah, it's dry.
Exactly. Number 2 is like, this doesn't help. Like these guys are on Twitter and socials and they see this shit and their friends see this shit and they're like, yo, what's going on with DJ? It's fucking uncomfortable, dude. So my opinion fully is like, I wish to God he was gone for the fact of if he doesn't want to be here, don't waste your time here. And like people are bringing up the old Justin thing where he was like, I don't like, and they're speculating that he never wanted Caleb, which is fine. But it's like, again, it's working a job and you have a boss and you love the boss and then he leaves and then you fucking sit there and like you make it very clear that you wish you were not here. Like that's what it feels like to us. I've said my case. Dave.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. It's more than fair. It's so crazy the 180 with DJ Moore because he going into this season, he was the most beloved Bear, probably like just nonchalant, funny. His pressers were good, always entertaining. He does have that dry sense of humor, but I did have a problem with how he handled it this week when they asked him about it, and he just kept on looking down and smiling and it just was a very weird. He just didn't do a good job answering it, in my opinion. And I don't know how you go about it. I understand he was injured. I get that. However, just not even watching because Caleb could have had a huge play, right? Like, what if they score a touchdown, right? It would have been awesome, right? Or if it was an interception, just to not even care about the play, it was weird because he walked straight to the bench. And when I wrote a column on this, it was when you look at like all of these instances with DJ Moore this year, if you look at him like individually, it's not a big deal. Like even this play, I understand it's not great optics, but he was injured. He rolled his ankle mid-play. But if he had no other body language issues or, remarks, any comments, if this was the only instance, I don't think it would be nearly as big a deal. However, when you look at everything as a whole, from the Texans game, sitting on the bench, to even just back to March where they're talking about, hey, I'm in Justin Fields. I would like the Bears to keep him. Like he said it straightforward. And then now all the way to here where you're walking up, it does look like he just does not give a shit. Like he does not care about Caleb and the success of the offense. And the one thing I really have never really seen from DJ, at least last year, was he doesn't really complain on the field, like calls. But one thing I've noticed that is so prevalent this year is, which I get it, it's frustrating, but he is getting held sometimes, but it's like he's always yapping at the refs on a lot of plays, even all 22. He's just not like almost like throwing a fit, right? Or kind of giving up on plays, right? Where Caleb's extending, or even on routes. We've seen that where he just kind of stops. He's going full speed and just stops, and who knows what happens, right? If they connect in regards to Caleb and DJ, and also the answer with that Caleb, because they talked about the frustration and the connection with DJ and that they have been struggling. He said that it's frustrating for him and it's also frustrating for DJ Moore. It's not fun. Like, so I feel like there is some tension between the two. I don't think it's like, I think it's repairable. Like, I think it's, if they start winning, that changes everything.
Winning cures. I would say winning cures everything.
However, you lose this week to New England and DJ's like got two catches on like 9 targets and the inaccuracies there. And we get more body language, right? If Jack catches it or something like that, I don't think it's going to end up well for this team. I don't think you could trade DJ Moore right now because you just signed him an extension. He said he wants to be here. He is super talented and his deal is insane. Like it's a very, very good, if he's producing,
he's not getting traded.
He's going to get back to it. Yeah. At least not yet. Right.
And he can't get traded this year because we just passed the trade deadline literally this week. So
but this offseason, depending on how this finishes, man, we could be cooking up trade scenarios, right? Which would be such a crazy turnaround. But for me, I'm not happy with where it's at. I hate the noise, but this is what happens when we lose. Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, lose badly. That's the problem.
Yes, you're out-coached. You're having, issues everywhere from the coaches all the way, the coaches aren't taking accountability. Even DJ Moore, I understand he was hurt. He didn't take any accountability. Like, hey, yeah, I was hurt. I could have done a better job. I should have at least been engaged. I just went to the bench. Just, I think Chicago and the media would have like understood that a little bit more and probably appreciated that more than I don't know. That answer he gave and the way he's like side-eyeing, looking around and throwing it back like, hey, I heard the noise. You guys did this, right? The media. And it's like, this is what we do. We're reacting to your film, reacting to your body language. And when you throw in everything else that's transpired, it's very disappointing because DJ is one of my favorite players, and I like Caleb, and I want that connection to work. But like I said, I think it could get it's already rocky, but I think it can get really, really noisy depending on how this outcome, this Sunday goes. So
I was going to ask actually, like, how we feeling about like how impactful this is. And Dave, you gave your piece, which I think it's very fixable. You win games, frustration goes away. DJ's a good player. I don't think it's the end of the world. I just think they're literally in the lowest of the season right now because the offense had hit a peak and then it regressed in these past 2 weeks for some odd. Well, actually, I think the reason is the offensive line. It always starts with the trenches. I don't like being right about it, but this offensive line, as we saw today, we'll get to the injury report, doesn't look great. And Caleb is on pace to get sacked like 62 times, which would be like the third highest in the NFL. So not great. But I do want to ask one more question before we go into the injury report and talk about the upcoming matchup here with the Patriots. Right here from Shane Waldron hate account, which is hilarious, but on Twitter said, we need to start having a conversation about polls as well. Maybe this is me alone, but I think the only person or the last person to blame about anything on this team is Ryan Poles, right? Because if you look at talent, and we talked about it going into the season, on paper, the trades he's made, the core people he signed, you just mentioned it, the deals he signed for, like a DJ Moore deal, not mortgaging the future. Like the team is still set up for success next season and the year after that. Cap space, we got 2 second-rounders next year. So yes, we lost 2 games back-to-back. Not great. This team is still 4-4 with a rookie quarterback through 8 weeks, right? Yeah, shocking statement. Earth-shattering that his camera had to move there. But like, sure, he gets some blame, but like I see people saying like Ryan Poles on the hot seat, he should be fired. It's like, bro, we lost 2 games. I think we might be overreacting a little bit. Like, I think we have the talent, the coaches, players to blame because they're always to blame, but the coaches have not put the players in the most successful position, specifically on offense, which we've seen, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing is,
maybe
some
I'm
people
being
don't want
to optimistic. Sorry.
Oh, Ryan Poles has done a good job, but he's not taken the North. He's not done some things. So he needs to be better, but they're not gonna can him at all. I think he has at least another couple of years
for sure.
He's a GM. He's done a really good job. He's set the Bears up with one of the best trades ever with Bryce Young, and that trade with Carolina. I mean, that alone should buy you a year or two. So
how about the reports that Flus is on a 5-year deal? Y'all saw that from Brad Biggs, I think.
It's so frustrating because, people are like, I just don't want. No, if he has a horrible end to the season, he's gone.
For sure, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
I don't care how many. I don't care if he has a 50-year option or what the fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They have to pay it out. That's
and if they do that, it's like, no. I know the Bears are ridiculous sometimes, but if Flus goes on, and they end up winning 6 games this year, you're telling me we'll keep him. No,
he'd be gone.
Especially when Ben Johnson and a bunch of these guys, and I hear reports on him as well. I think it's all noise right now, dude. I just think it's all noise.
Oh, for sure. It's way too early. Schefter was like, Ben Johnson, is going to be very selective, and he doesn't view Chicago, which is probably what's been fed by the agent. But Albert Breer literally in the same week, right after this game was said, that was an option. And he, for Chicago, that was one of his top options. So I think I'm saying that because I agree with you completely. You're hearing multiple things.
If the numbers are right and the Bears are willing to pay, he will come to Chicago and he will work with a very talented quarterback that he is very familiar with. So
I can totally see us getting the Seahawks outside linebacker coach or some shit. That's I can picture it already in my head, or
defensive head coach.
No,
there's too many good ones. Even if we go deep,
but that's how it always is, Ficky. Come on.
I feel you.
There's so many good ones, and we get fucking Matt Nagy.
Relax. We could get him again next year.
I saw that on
hot take. I actually
I
like Matt Nagy more than I think Flus. different eras, different rebuilding teams, but
see, I think I might be the opposite, only not because of how he handles the media or anything like that. I think Nagy did better, even though he had his word salad, right? But I mean, Flus does too. But I think when you talk about execution, what the head coach touched, Flus's defense was much better.
Yeah, but Flus touches. He's handpicked these guys. Shane
that's
Walton,
fair.
Luke
I'm not
Getsy,
arguing that.
who's
I'm just
fired
saying,
twice in a calendar year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
I'm just saying,
I agree.
I at least like that part. But yeah, you want all of it to be like a well-oiled machine. A lot of football left. Who knows what happens in this league? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are not great right now.
Before we get into this game, like, where are you guys at on like this year? Like 1 through 10 in terms of like everything. So like excitement for our big games against Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, like watching Caleb play. Like, where are you at? Everything combined, 1 through 10. Like how? Because I know before this season we were all fucking 10. We were all like, let's go. Like, this is me the best year. Where are we at?
7.5, and I think it's the team is still 4-4, which is like for a rookie quarterback. Like if you take away all the expectations we kind of set as fans for this team, and you just look at rookie quarterbacks, number 1 picks, records through 8 weeks, 4-4, you walk away and go, wow, that's pretty good. And we've seen flashes with Caleb, and I think hearing it from other people that study quarterbacks and whatnot, be like, oh, Caleb's gonna be fine. I still have a little bit of excitement there. What's been, what's knocked it down is the way we've lost the past last 2 games, right? If those were, even if we'd have beat the Cardinals, I think I'd still be like a 9. Like, it'd be like, damn, we really should have beat Washington, but at least we bounced back with the Cardinals. But because we got stomped by the Cardinals, I think that knocked it down like a full 1.5 points for me. But I'm still feeling optimistic about the future. Maybe not the playoffs. That's a different question, but I would say 7.5.
Yeah.
Dave, go ahead.
Well, I don't have a rank. I don't really have like a rating, but if we weren't in a division that is brutal right now, I would feel better with 4-4. But for the Bears, like, I'm always excited. But like when you start the season, especially this year when we're doing well, like it was like, when you go to the movies or you have a movie that's like can't wait to see. You're really hyped about this one. You got to go see it right when it opens. Like, that's how I felt for the first probably 6 weeks of this season. These last 2 weeks have been hell. And so how I feel right now, I'm still excited about it, but I would compare it to like a movie that like, yeah, you want to still see it in the movie theater, but like, you're not super stoked, right? You're like, you'll see it maybe the week after it releases. Like, I'm excited about this Bears game, but that's how I'm feeling right now, where it's like, I'm excited, but man,
If they stomp the Patriots out, do you think because we say this every week after week though, it's such a weak basis type of league that like, not saying you'd be on 10, but you might feel a little bit like
I can't because again. It's hard to look. I still think about the Indy game. I'm obviously going to think about Washington. I mean, that Cardinals game was brutal,
awful.
But I mean, 5-4 feel good, but then we got Green Bay, right? So I'll feel like a little excited because that's a big matchup. You win that game, okay. Now we could start cooking.
Correct. They're coming off a bye.
6-4.
They're coming off a bye too, though, which sucks because they don't play this week.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because we came off a bye and we're the
I don't know.
Yeah, but we're the Bears.
Hit or miss. But we're at home though. The
true.
Bears are actually really good at home. They are. All right.
Before we get to the game, then how about this? Hypothesis. They go on a 3-game winning streak, or because they have 3 games now at home, and one of those would include the Packers. I think it's Seattle at home, right? Who's after the Packers? I can't remember.
Seattle's end of the year.
End of the year? Who's after? I can't remember. It's not the Lions, is it? Sorry. Well, someone looks up. Let's just say they go on a 3 because they've done well at home, right? And they continue that streak and they win 3 in a row. Vikings. Let's say they win. Okay, that's even crazier then. So you got this easy one with the Patriots. Hopefully you can win. And then let's say they just surprisingly, because they'd be underdogs in both those, win both those games. I would think, me personally, I would be back at a 10. Because now you've started the NFC North 2-0 against tough teams, like winning teams. These aren't bad teams. And now you're on a 3-game winning streak. So what would that put us at? That'd be 8-4?
It would be 7.
Oh yeah, because we're 4-4. Thank you. Yeah. So 7-4. Like, are you back at the original? Like,
well, yeah, you beat the Packers and Minnesota. Jesus,
I would say I'm not even joking. Like, let's not even go to after Green Bay. Even if we get fucking cooked Sunday, and we go out and we beat Green Bay at home, I'm sold. I'm so back.
Yeah, you're right. Because that's the one thing we've never been able to do.
You're telling me.
I'd like to beat. Yeah, we don't beat Green Bay very often. I'll still be pissed. I felt like a lot of these games.
Yeah, we'll be pissed as fuck if we lose to the Patriots. But
I would get over it very quick by watching.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
it hasn't looked great. But speaking of this game, hypotheticals. Speaking of it, let's go ahead and take a look at the injury report. Unless you guys have anything left over from the last game.
No, holy shit, this is long. Get your reading glasses, though. We have
a novella over here.
Green Amagaji.
Yep.
Calf. He did not practice all week. He's out. Brisker, very, very concerning. He's out. Braxton Jones out. Darnell Wright out. So you see your two tackles there. Darrell Taylor, questionable. Noah Sewell, questionable. Ryan Bates, he's questionable. He practiced in full. I bet he's good to go.
Yeah.
And then Kyler Gordon, awesome. He's back. That's really, really, really good. Tevin Jenkins as well. Mercedes Lewis, of course. And then Terrell Smith. That's exciting. And then, of course, one of the bigger names here, Montez Sweat, where the defense just looks so much better. But one thing I am worried about here, obviously the tackles, but more importantly is Jaquan Brisker. I think there's something deeper. I think there has to be. The fact that he's not on IR is a little weird too, but I am very, very concerned.
Like from a mental standpoint,
when he's going to return.
I
think he's good.
No, not like him mentally. I'm saying like the damage to the head. Like,
I think it's more so I think he's wanting to. I think he is taking precautions, and his team around him is going to take precautions.
I don't blame. It's the head, bro. Like, I get it. It sucks for fans, but like, you got to. That's
3 concussions in 2 years. So
it's no joke.
What were you saying, Jack?
Do they? Again, this is dumb football fan shit. Do they have to announce what the injury is, or can they hold? So, like, say it's concussion, but then you clear protocol per se. So, like, you're concussion free. Do you have to create the report to like update it, or is
think so? If you clear it,
if we
think it's cleared,
do we assume that it's still he's like facing concussion?
I don't think he's.
Is
cleared
it on the injury report? It's concussion.
Right, so that's what I was curious.
That means he's still in concussion protocol.
Yeah, I don't think he's cleared.
Got it.
So
and he hasn't practiced or anything. So
yeah. So and it's the head. So hopefully, look, you get him in the pass defense has been fine without him. Obviously, it'd be better with him. Let's not be wrong, but like as we'll see, the football's here in a minute. The pass defense has been fantastic. So hopefully, rest. I mean, not rest, but like let that brain heal or whatever's injured in the head. No speculation. Like let it. Because you only got one of those. And then when you're ready to go, come back. So that's not something you can just, play and fight through. Like that's dangerous.
But either way, there's some good on this injury report, and there's also a lot of bad. So Caleb Williams, I'm very concerned. No, his 2 starting tackles. We'll see how that looks. I know New England isn't elite.
They got 3 out. That's even worse.
Yeah.
Kron too.
Yeah, and he was all right. Yeah, the depth is
still though.
Tough.
You're starting. You're what is it? So at right tackle, you're expecting Pryor, who moved from guard, right, to go there. Who's already backup guard. So Pryor goes to right tackle, and then I think left tackle will be. It's the tackle 4. Now I can't remember it, but that's basically the fact that I can't even pull up the name.
Well, I think Ryan Bates too. He said he was comfortable
going to guard.
He's comfortable anywhere. He's anywhere. He takes pride in that. So I know he's questionable heading into this matchup, but I think he'll start. He'll be good to go.
Do we have
for Caleb's sake?
Tackle?
Yeah, we do.
I'm on the depth.
He's starting.
Here.
Yeah, he's starting left tackle.
Braxton Borum, Kieran.
Larry. It's Larry Borum's going to be.
I didn't say his name. Yeah.
Yeah, Borum's going to be starting left tackle.
And you could see last week it was an adjustment period. His first live game reps. So I think he'll be a lot better this week.
It's not great, though.
And New England's a better or an easier test, you would think. We'll see.
Luckily, which we'll talk about here when we look at the preview, if you're going to have some tackles out, this might be the game to do it. So hopefully everyone can get healthy for Green Bay, because that's when we're going to need some help, because their defense has been much improved than last year. So, Jack, you want to pull up the injury report for the Patriots? We'll take a look at them. All right, so it looks like we got what? Kyle Duggar's out, starting safety. That's a pretty big hit. He's been decent. Christian Ellis, a linebacker's out, abdomen. I don't think he's a starter. And then you got a bunch of questionables here with Alex Austin, Daniel Ukale, I think, Michael Jordan, which I think he's a rookie or he was drafted last year. He's a guard.
North Carolina.
Yeah. Veteran Lowe, Marte Mapu, Layden Robinson, and Jaquelin Roy. So none of these are really big names, but also this is the Patriots, so a lot of them aren't going to be big names. So, but it's the NFL. These injury lists are going to get long and long, especially midway through the season. So
one thing I learned during this podcast is that the Bears do have one thing, and it's their injury report is the cleanest looking one out of everybody's.
For sure. I thought that too.
We are really good.
Even with this week?
No. Not cleanest, like lit, like how they report it. Like
gotcha.
Yeah. Because some of them will be like, some of them are actually articles, and I have to like go onto the website and
shame on you guys.
I'm like, come on, it's social media. Like you can't.
Shout out Bears Communications.
But that's how sick we are as fans, though, because they know we're waiting on it. You know,
we always have a fucking million of them every time, every week. We have so much.
It's so true. Shout out to the Bears PR team. Hey, good stuff there.
Yep.
The team, I don't know, but the PR team, you're doing a great job. So that's good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this team overview, team preview here of the Patriots. Now, we got some breaking news here. We play some bad teams. This is the worst team from football count that we played so far. They are only 2 footballs in 2 categories. That is running on the offensive side of the ball, and that is run defense. They are literally 27th or 28th in almost every category. I think their highest is their rushing, which is 18th, which isn't going to match well against the Bears because the Bears' rush defense is 23rd. And every week they've been losing a football, it seems like, because they've been getting gashed up. And they also lost one of their best run interior lineman, Andrew Billings, who's out indefinitely, hopefully not the full season, but out for a long time. So if you're talking about a matchup, that is one that you're going to have to pay attention to because I feel like, especially with them dealing with the rookie quarterback, they're going to try to run the ball a lot on us because that is our only weakness. But the one thing we did gain a football in is the pass defense. They are now second in the league, which they were earlier. So the pass defenses look really good, especially after last week holding Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray to like under 180 yards or something like that. He had a QBR of like 80 something. So they didn't get turnovers from an interception rate standpoint, but they held their own on that end. So not bad. And the pass rush has been decent. It was still decent against Kyler. I think we had like 3 sacks. And that was without Montez Sweat. So, again, goes back to my, not saying this is why we should keep Flus, but that's why I say, the Flus over Nagy. Because, hey, look, the run defense has taken a step back. But even with all the injuries and whatnot, Flus still cooks. That was the first time in 14 weeks that the team has given up more than 21 points. So but, yeah, again, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about a new coach. But
they look terrible.
Props.
But I just have no faith in Chicago right now. So
that's fair.
It's hard to get excited, But man, this could be a get right game for this offense.
If it's not, I'm with you.
Fingers crossed.
If it's not, we'll get to the score predictions later. But
I'll
probably be on your guys' side.
I'll be honest. These last 2 weeks have been hell, media wise. Looking at go on socials, it's not fun. But anyways,
yeah, it's not been great. It has not been great over here on this side. All right, let's get to maybe this is a positive for me, but let's get to the bold takes because the Bears suck. But guess who got a win in that column?
Who's keeping track of this?
The guy to the left is
rigged right now. So I'll tell you why. I said 2 takeaways for the defense, and they ended up getting that fumble on that 4th down. And that's security. So they had 2 fumble recoveries. So I barely got it. It didn't feel like it though because they got stomped and gave up 230 rushing yards. Right. But I got one. So yay me. So yeah.
I remember. I'm trying to pull it up. I'm trying to pull up the text, but it was in the middle of this blowout game where we're I'm fucking furious. And your ass
yes,
texting the
I know.
And you're well, I forgot what you even said. My bold take.
He's got my bold right though. Or something like that.
God, I almost left chat, dude. That it was that should be over the end.
To be fair, I wasn't angry at that point now because it was almost like it wasn't like a close game where you're like think you're in it and you make mistakes and you get furious. It was more like this is
no, but
I've seen plenty of games like this. I was like a deflated balloon. I was like, whatever.
I stay fumed though. Like it just irritates me the whole game, like the whole entire game. I was like, and then I start thinking about like, wow, I just wasted so much time watching this team get their ass kicked.
That does suck.
You know, it's just disappointing.
I think for me, once I see there's no hope, I think there's less of like anger and just more of like despair and disappointment.
Yeah. But it's the end of half touchdown run, the situational defense.
I was pissed then.
But I could not be pissed about. Like I was pissed about that in the fourth quarter. I was pissed about it during the post game pod. I'm honestly still upset about it. Like it is just, I cannot believe this team and how
third longest run to end a half in NFL history, I think is what I saw.
I can't believe
that. Never great to be in the history books on that end.
No.
Yeah, that's never great. So
bold takes are interesting. 1-7.
To be fair, our bold takes are pretty bold. It's not like we do some cookie cutter stuff. So
no,
you're
right. We typically go bold. I can't even remember what bold take I submitted.
Don't worry about it. It's probably not going to hit. Let's go to mine real quick. Pull that up, Jack, for me. Bold take. This is bold. We've seen this offense the past 2 weeks. I have the Bears offense scoring 3 touchdowns. That sounds fucking crazy. And maybe it wouldn't sound crazy 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. But after these 2 outings, 3? I don't know. We'll see.
1
I could see it.
I would say 1.
But you're playing New England, you would hope, and you're at home.
But we played the Cardinals, okay, maybe not as bad as defense as Patriots, but their defense is still bad. Their offense is what has carried them in games. Their defense still sucks.
Getting home, and maybe that's just because of our offensive
injuries.
line.
Yeah, our offensive line is injured.
It was brutal.
We gave what 6 sacks against a defensive line who I couldn't name.
And it was like, and then they are who's that safety? Buda
Baker.
Yeah, he's
a dog. He's a dog. He's a great player.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, but he came free, got a sack on Caleb.
Didn't even get touched.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fun. All right,
Who's
let's
next?
Speaking of fun.
All right. Oh, that's what I said. I can't believe I gave away my score prediction here, I guess. Bears lose by double digits. I'll be honest, all this bold take, my prediction, my headline for Monday, this is all trying to be like a reverse jinx here, but I cannot, after picking the Bears for 3 straight weeks to win, I can't do it anymore. I know this is a really good matchup, and you feel good. You feel good going into this, and you're like, this is it. We cannot lose this one. I don't know, man. I don't know. So
look, to be fair, when I see all your bold takes and score predictions, I'm not like, no. It's not like it's crazy. I understand it. This is the lowest.
I don't want to see it. This would be horrible.
I know. This would be the week 2.
To lose to a rookie quarterback, Drake May, at home, and lose by double digits, Flus may be gone, which could be the silver lining depending on where you stand on him.
Man, we need to learn how to win. I don't know. That might be a different discussion, but I just win games. But
we were winning.
We were. Hey, technically we won as many as we've lost, so we'll see what happens. They get a lot of football left. Jack, go ahead and pull up your depressing bold takes as well.
I didn't even read Jack's. I'm curious.
As my guy Pop Smoke says, when it rains, it pours. I think that it is going to be absolutely 250 yards. It sounds like it's a lot, but it's not really, especially against this team. And so that's why I sort of went bold. Like it should be like DeAndre Swift, 60, 70 yards rushing, and then Caleb just has a day at least 200 yards. That's what it should be. That's why I think this is bold enough. I think I have a really, really bad feeling that like it's sort of going to – I can already tell that we're going to start slow, so that I can eliminate the entire –
that's a given. We're the only team in the NFL that has not scored on opening drive. I scored a touchdown on the opening drive.
Yeah, right, exactly. So my bold take's not even bold, actually, because I have 3 quarters of ball. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's going to be a struggle. Unfortunately, I hope I'm so wrong, and it's.
I'll try to be the yin to y'all's yang, but it would be funny, only Bears fashion, that you guys finally hit both of yours. And it's when you guys pick the negative bold take.
Well, this is the.
I'm trying to reverse.
I think for Dave as well, it's the one time that we've ever gone like negative Bears.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think so.
So maybe
I don't like doing it, but
good vibes.
Not great. Not great. So yeah, I mean, look, can I throw some stats here real quick or talk about some ones real quick?
Mm-hmm.
This New England, look, why I think it shouldn't happen is because this Patriots defense is garbage, bro. Like, I know we've said that, but it's like you can't play 3 garbage defenses in a row and then just not figure something out, right? The Patriots run defense allowed 128 rushing yards last week with Tony Pollard. And they also had Mason Rudolph go off for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. They've allowed a season high passer rating to quarterbacks of 97.5, which is pretty good, right? That's basically 100. So something's got to give. Like, this offense is too good on paper. Now, the offensive line has a big part of why maybe it's not clicking, because Caleb has to, first of all, let me back up here. We're running way too many deep concepts for a offensive line that's as injured as it is. It shouldn't be that, right? Caleb can hit those and make deep ball plays. Like, I think he'll get to that. But you have to understand the situation that's at hand. That could have been your scheme 3 weeks ago, but you've got to adjust. I'm sorry. It needs to be a much shorter, get the ball in the playmaker's hands, let them move the ball. That's going to build confidence with your young quarterback. And you're allowing your offensive line to block enough, right? When you're missing both your starting tackles, you shouldn't be running, 4 verts or 2 verts and 2 long option routes. Like, we can't be doing that because Caleb is sitting back there. And I know they say like Caleb's holding the ball too long, but if you watch a lot of the 22, they're deep routes. So he's waiting for something to get open, right? So it's kind of like we're not setting up this offense and this quarterback to be in a favorable position. So I hope what we see this week, if we actually see adjustments, I think it's going to be more of a positive set because the positive result, because this defense is so bad that we're going against. But if we don't, what you guys are predicting could easily happen. And
one thing I'd like to see is Cole Kmet obviously be involved. Like, he's such a good player, and he's also I think his connection when Caleb does target him,
we win.
I mean, good things happen. They really, really do. And so he deserves it. You paid him. Obviously you should use him. That's one thing with such a red flag for me with Shane Waldron. I look back to the beginning of the year when, what's his face? Gerald Everett was out-snapping Cole Kmet and getting more targets. And it looked like it was intentional. Like, that was part of the game plan. And then he got absolutely grilled. He got lit up for even doing it. And, he rightfully got pushback in regards to Cole Kmet. So, but now we're here again. He has 1 target in the last 2 games. It's just like, what is going on? Like, how is
that's
he
what
not
I'm saying?
involved?
Something has to change.
5 tight end at the very least, top 8. He's does not drop. He does not have a drop all year. It's just and maybe some of it's on Caleb, I'm sure, but you can scheme up a play to get him the ball once or twice, a quarter or at least half.
That's what I'm saying. If you do that early, like, I think there should be a lot of short game early.
Easy completions.
Get the rhythm. Yes. Get it going. Get your guys in a groove, right? I don't care how you scheme it up, but let's get the ball in your playmakers' hands and quit having these deep route early. Because what's happening is we're getting a lot of, like, we'll have a decent run on first down, which is good to see now, that we'll get like in second in like 7 or 7 and 6. But then on second down, we run a deep route concept and then we get no yards. So we go from first down, our success rate being good, to like getting another first down, to now it being third and I'd still say 3rd and 6 is long, especially for this offense. And so we're seeing that over and over again. And you're wondering, why can't this team move the ball? Yeah. It's because they are not utilizing their second down to get in short and favorable positions. So I agree, though.
My damn camera.
No, it's all good. But
it's hard to run deep concepts when you have a 58-year-old wide receiver running half speed who hates everybody on that entire team. Shout out Rome, and then a tight end.
I was about to say, what are you going to say about Rome? I was waiting for that one.
There's nothing on Rome. Love it forever.
Rome's on pace for a decent year.
He's actually, they're doing there's this big sports card convention thing right next to O'Hare in the city. And so they have a bunch of Bears guys going. So Rome will be there.
Oh,
Montez, cool. Urlacher, Briggs, all these guys. So I'm going to see Rome, and I couldn't be more excited. It's like Christmas.
That's fire. Tell him you
Rome's
fucking
awesome.
hate DJ. Tell him
Speaking
you fucking
of,
hate his teammate.
Like, I'm going to ask him. I'm going to hold the phone right up to his face and be like, is DJ Moore a prick?
Oh my God. So Rome, I was actually looking at it back a couple days ago in regard to Rome because of the, am I muted?
No. We're listening.
Okay, cool.
I'm just laughing at Jack. Sorry.
So Rome Odunze, right now he's projected to finish his rookie season with 53 receptions for 831 yards. And of course, 2 touchdowns. Touchdowns are so hit or miss. I think you could get a couple more in there, finish with 3 or 4. But the 53 receptions, 831 yards, pretty dang good, especially when you think of the Bears offense and how up and down it truly is. And then, dealing with a rookie quarterback that, of course, it's never going to be linear. It was always going to be, wavy ups and downs. And of course, we're kind of summiting right now. So
can I sprinkle some optimism a little bit? No, you're right. Can I sprinkle a little bit of optimism though? Right. And maybe this is just a little bit. It's not much, right? No. Okay. So if we were not a fan of this team, right, and we were just looking out,
I wouldn't watch this team if I wasn't a fan.
I wish I was.
For sure. Listen, don't get too. That was not the optimistic part. Okay, so
it made me happy. I was thinking about that.
If you look at the situation, right, new offensive coordinator, a rookie quarterback, right, just those 2 things alone. You would say, using historical context, that there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. It's going to happen. That's what you would expect, right? I'm not saying that our expectation going in was wrong because I was right there with y'all. But if you were, outside looking in, you're like, okay, no, that kind of makes sense. You're 4-4, which is pretty good for a rookie quarterback, right? You've had some really good games where the offense looks good. I don't care if it's against bad teams. You've had some bad games where they haven't looked good, and you've had a couple medium games as well, right? So you're kind of seeing everything, and I think that's why it's so chaotic, because we're seeing so many extremes, and we just saw 2 of them back to back. At least before, it'd be one, and then we'd have another good one to mix it up. Back to back, this is the first time we've seen that, right? So I think taking a step back and not looking at the NFC North, because that's not optimistic, but taking a step back exactly right now, isn't this kind of aren't we performing a little bit better than what you would expect from that type of situation?
The problem with me is I don't want to be this way, but I could easily spin zone this into a negative.
Oh, sure. No, please do.
It is good that we're 4-4, and obviously it's nice to be 500, but at the same time, it's greed. It's what it is, and we're all greedy people. It's just what we are.
We're so desperate, though. Yes,
in 40 years,
and that's fair.
And so, when we get close to Indy and we can't win, that sucks. When we lose to a Hail Mary, that sucks. And then rather than being hey, we won 4 games, it's why the fuck can we win 6 or 7?
Yeah.
We could easily be 7-1. But that's just how the brain works. I can't help myself.
If that Hail Mary never happened, I would be able to be happy. But that Hail Mary, it is just...
Oh, it's a dagger to the heart.
We're going to look back potentially and be like, that derailed the entire season. It had a huge effect. And Caleb even said it. His team, they said they weren't over it heading into the Arizona game. And, who knows where they're at right now. So, but I see it, Ficky. I'm just tired. I think I'm just tired of being an optimist. I don't want 4-4. I want to be a playoff team. I want to have fun. I want to be a fan that is able to have fun and not stress every freaking Sunday.
Well, I don't know about that.
I can't even watch end of halves anymore if the opposing team has the ball because I don't know if they're going to score. They can be on their own 20. I'm nervous, and that is not cool. That is not fair.
I agree.
No fan should have to go through that.
I agree. And I'm not saying your guys' thoughts are wrong. I'm not saying I'm so optimistic about it. I just I heard that this week and I was like, okay, if I take myself out of it, it could be much worse. But I totally agree with you because you do look at Indy and you're like, that should have been our game. And then you do look at if you're talking about should be 99.999% our game, that was the Washington game. So yeah. And then I agree that Hail Mary was probably
we've had a rebuild the last couple of years with Justin, and we've had to really dig for optimism, right? When your team's winning 3-4 games, you have to really look for it, and you have to look into the future. And that was exhausting. Like, we did it for 2 seasons, and now I was ready to actually compete for something. And I'm not saying we're out of it, because you were right. 4-4, you win here, you beat Green Bay. I mean, you're 6-4, a lot of momentum. But I mean,
all it takes is like
you're
one.
Crazy to think that.
I'm not saying it's going to happen.
To think that.
I'm not thinking it's going to happen, but all it takes is one. They beat Green Bay, and we're thinking too far ahead here. But they beat Green Bay. That does can have the potential to do the exact opposite of what the Hail Mary did against the Commanders.
Beat Green Bay with a Hail Mary.
I take it any type of win. Spin zone it for sure. Yes. Flip whatever that negative aura happened. Let's just reverse.
I'll tell you what, we beat New England. I will talk myself into be like, okay, we might be able to handle Green Bay. Or at least compete.
Them, in my opinion. I think we got to stop them. If we
I'm excited. I'm nervous about their fucking secondary, dude. That McKinney safety that I wanted in the free agency. My God, he's so good. He's a dog. He's gonna get Caleb. He's gonna get him at least once, probably twice.
We might be able to get Love though. We might be able to get Love.
What do you say, Jack?
The Green Bay game. But
what are you talking about here? He's gonna pick off Caleb twice.
To be fair,
I think so, because he's so inaccurate down the field, man.
To be fair, Dave, though,
he covers so much ground back there.
The problem is Caleb will throw it 35 yards.
I guess you're right.
So he hasn't turned the ball over. That's the only silver lining with Caleb right now in the 2 bad games. Not like a full season type of thing, but like the past 2 games, at least he's doing the Aaron Rodgers route where it's like, look, the pass may not be great, but it's going out of bounds. But at least it's not a turnover.
That is not a good thing.
I get so pissed when I see that ball in the air, because I'm like, it's like you get like, oh, who's he throwing to? Right? Like, what does he see? It's a fucking stands, or it's like, that is.
It wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't be as bad if he was connecting on other ones though, because you'd be like, oh, that's fine. You just had him miss on a deep.
He just can't. He's in connected anything. His deep ball is brutal. It may be one of the worst in the league, but
right now for sure.
On a positive note. What do we have? What's positive? What are we talking about? What's going on next?
I don't know if there's anything positive. We can go to our
the Bears did this, man. The Bears did this to me. Like I said, they have killed me. And I'm typically so optimistic. It's just, man, fuck them. Like, I am just prove it to me. Like, I'm tired of like predicting, like hypotheticals. Like, just go out there, win this week. Preferably dominant. You're at home, take care of business, dude. Like, just keep it simple, keep the main thing, win. You're 5-4, really, really, really have a tough matchup against Green Bay, but you're at home again. So you have playing with house money at that point, because you're expected to lose that game. But anyways, on to New England. This is a huge game.
I do love though. You're like on to the positive, and none of us were like, "Well, I don't think we."
I'm not
actually so hard to think of anything.
Well, speaking of it, I actually do, and it's a perfect transition. Let's go to the score predictions. We'll start with mine first. We need some positivity.
You don't want to go to mine.
Yeah, we do not. We don't want to go to Jack's either. So I have us winning 27-10. Okay, I think the Patriots might score in the first half. It's bound to happen. Maybe they have a good drive where they run the ball. We've seen that happen with these teams. I think the offense is going to figure something out again, and maybe I'm a broken record at this point, one of the worst defenses, if not the worst defense in the NFL.
Oh, we just say it every week, Ficky. We say it every goddamn week. We're like, oh, this defense sucks. This defense sucks.
To be fair, it's true, but to be fair, against Washington, they almost did enough to win it. Last week was the first time we were like, oh, against the worst defense, the offense didn't show up at all. So I'm hoping for a bounce back. I could be completely wrong. And you guys can shit on me on the post game. I'm definitely open.
It's not your fault. You're just sick.
It isn't. You're right. No, but I'm saying y'all can be like, y'all can be like, we told you so, which is fair.
If we lose this game, you just have to join the dark side.
Oh, for sure. Yes. I've been on the dark side plenty of times.
It is doom and gloom. No, permanent. We're looking for everything.
I'm saying past seasons, it's not hard for me to get there. For some reason, there's just a little bit. I see a little light at the end of the tunnel. But yes, if this team loses, put it on record to the Patriots. I'm doom and gloom for the rest of the season until they prove me otherwise. But
I just can't. Can you imagine losing to Jaden Daniels, which is fine, but then you also lose to Drake May? I know it's not all about the quarterbacks. It's like,
but you lose to just 2 rookie quarterbacks that were drafted immediately after the one you took. Yeah, that would fucking
best
suck.
situation in number 1 overall pick history, whatever. And we're like over here
Drake
losing to
beats this team, I'll have the hottest take in the world ever.
That's wild to say because you have some fucking hot ones. So
Swap
tune into
the
the post game live to catch that because it's going to be monumental. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think the offense gets rolling. I really do, and I think they just kind of actually. You know what the bold take should have been? And I might switch to this. I think for the first time this season, we score a touchdown in the first quarter. First drive, we score a touchdown. I'm gonna take away.
Congratulations, you're a normal offense, Chicago.
No, but that's the boldest take, and I'm gonna do it now. Take away my 3 touchdowns.
That's so sad.
It hasn't been done. This week they finally do it, and if they do that, they will stop this team because that lets me know. Okay, you actually showed up. You guys can finish it off. So,
or they score once in the first quarter, and they don't score again.
Speaking of doom and gloom, let's go check out these.
Like I said, reverse psychology, but I'm just done. 27-13. Can't wait for my Monday headline here. I don't think this is really, if they're going to lose, they're probably going to lose by like a really close, like a field goal, like game-winning field goal or something like that. I just don't think New England can blow them out, especially at home and with this defense. However, I don't know why I picked that. I just picked it. I don't know. I'm not feeling like it's reverse jinx. If they lose like that, I think, people are losing their jobs the following Monday, which could be good. However, who's going to replace Flus? I don't know. Anyways, I hope this doesn't happen. I hate that I predicted it, but I don't even know if I've picked the Bears to lose this year.
Nope.
I don't think any of us have yet any game.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do it.
To beat every team.
And if you think about it, the trajectory this team is going on, it's not like they're just losing games; they're losing them horribly. The locker room there's been speculation that it has been split, that Flus has lost it, and if all these things, or even if like 60% of this stuff is true, I mean, you can make an argument. Last week they quit a little bit; it looked weird, especially in some spots, especially late in the game. I just don't know if this team doesn't score, doesn't get off to a strong start, right? And you actually are down, maybe say you're down 14-0, right? That could very easily happen, right? So then it could just get ugly. So I don't know. I hope this doesn't happen. I'm calling for like maybe reverse jinx here, but I'm tired of picking the Bears, man. Prove it to me.
Yeah,
win this game.
Totally fair.
I may pick you to beat Green Bay.
That is very that would also be nuts.
No, we can't on this podcast.
We can't do that. We said that until you prove it otherwise. I do want to bring up this comment. I think it's on accident because it's a typo, but this might be the new name for Coach Flus. I think we might need to start calling him Coach Flu because we're getting sick of him. You know what I mean? Like until this man starts winning some games, I might start calling him Coach Flu. So Plastic Rocket's the OG for the show. I appreciate that comment. So.
Flu ain't going nowhere. Flu season, baby.
Because I'm getting sick of it, bro. Flu season.
That is a good one. Jack, how are you feeling? I didn't look at any of your stuff when you put in the group chat. So
let's just say you joined me. You and I were on the ship together here.
Oh,
I have the Bears losing as well for the first time this year. 17-13. I think it's going to be nasty. I think it's going to be gross.
That is gross.
I hope I'm so wrong about this. I just see, like, again, the 1 touchdown, 2 field goals from us, 2 touchdowns, a field goal from them. I see it nasty. I try to, like, picture it in my head of, like, because I can see, I truly can see this offense putting up 30+ this game. But then I tell myself, do the opposite.
Because him putting up 30 yards a quarter.
What did you say?
I was going to say, I could also see him putting up 30 yards a quarter.
Yeah. That's true. They've had games under 150 yards, so that's definitely possible. Multiple times.
It's like everyone's drunk in the first quarter. Like, it looks like everyone's like off and like walking, and it's like
I think they're just doing too much. I think they're trying to outsmart everybody. They're always trying to get Keenan out on the ball. They ignore Cole Kmet, Caleb, false start penalties. It's just a bunch of shit. Because they actually moved the ball last week, and on their first drive, they got all the way up to like the Arizona 45, and then there was a false start. And another false start, I think. Was it a sack
or something like that?
Yeah. They had 2 false starts on that drive. That killed it, though. And then the sack. Yeah. So it's just this team is just ridiculously bad sometimes, and we'll see.
I did want to bring up real quick. Speaking of you saying that they want to outsmart, the DeAndre Swift shit is crazy to me because thank God he's a good ass player. Because if he was not and he was just mediocre, it would be a 20-yard game every time. We still run inside zone. I would love to know the math on that. Like, I would say it's a 70% ratio from an inside zone to like some sort of like outside.
Never works.
Whatever it is. Or right. Like, this dude cooks in open space. Cooks. But
also, our best linemen are the tackles. Well, not right now, but when we were fully healthy. Yeah, it's like if you look at like most of our successful runs are outside zones. I think I mentioned that in one of our pods. So,
but sometimes like sometimes like the crack toss, like sometimes when you got DeAndre into like open space, we've also seen it where like they just can't block. Like that one player just is not able to do his assignment, and it just it blows it up, you know. So, I agree with you.
Yeah, the offensive line we've talked about ad nauseum now, but that is the number one priority going into this.
I think the Bears shouldn't lose this game because of our defense, though. Like Drake May should have a it should be hell for him because this defense is, and they got Kyler Gordon back.
Pass rush,
it should be hell.
Pass rush is top 10. Yeah, pass rush is top 10 and still did well without Montez last week. Yeah. The Patriots offensive line is 28th on like EPA per play. They're not good. So like just from
you got JJ too, who's probably due, and I mean he should be able to get one on Drake, maybe bait him into a throw or something along those lines. So like I said, I hate my score prediction. I hope it doesn't come true. It just doesn't make sense. I don't see that it could happen, but I'm just like I said, until they prove me wrong, I can't pick them anymore.
No, I don't.
No matter what, I think they're even like 6.5 favorites.
Yeah,
6.5 point favorites.
Yeah, that's pretty high for us for a Bears team. So we should win.
That's how bad New England is.
That's what
What is their record? I didn't even.
They've won 2 games, I think. They've won 2.
Really?
Oh, you also know the NFL right now has like 13 teams with 3 or less wins. It's crazy. I've never seen so many teams that are under 3 wins. Like it is such a top-heavy league right now. Typically, you see more teams around like the median, the average, like 4-4, like us. It's literally either teams are really doing well or they're dog shit. So the NFL's been kind of weird this year. The disparity between the teams.
For sure.
And I mean, there's a lot of football left, but like even if we tried to tank, we're like still 15th or 16th. You know what I mean? Which is not the case because there's just so many bad teams. So
I don't think it's funny. We could really not win a game. Like this schedule's horrible. Like if you lose New England,
yeah, Dave's already over it. Yeah, if we lose to New England, it might be donezo. But while Dave is he's back. Okay. Yeah, you're right. If we lose to New England, like we may not. It's possible we don't win another game. We wouldn't be favored in any other game. Maybe Seattle. Maybe.
Oh no, they're gonna score like hell.
It's true. It's true. They got a good offense, a dynamic offense. But yeah, we could easily just end with 4 games. I mean, 4 wins. What a fucking season.
Don't even say that shit. I can't even. I don't.
Well, don't be coming for me. Y'all been the doom and gloom. I would
love it.
I just said that.
I would love it.
No, you liar.
4 wins. Oh, everyone's gone. New quarterback. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa. No, that's a
trade Caleb, trade DJ.
I'm stamped that.
Ryan Poles is fired.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. No, I can't. We can't deal with that. We got to learn how to win with this organization.
I don't know, man. They've just
we'll probably
off the deep end, dude.
We'll probably get to 8. Let's be real. We'll probably get to 7 or 8. So
yeah. Let's get to our headlines.
Do that before we do that, if you're new to the show, first of all, please give a like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Sorry, Jack. And quick with the fingers though. If you're new to the show, please give it #NewFaceGame. We'll try to give you a shout out before the end of the show here real quick. Also, if you're OG in the chat, which a lot of you are, like Plastic Rockets with your funny flu comment, please give it #OG in the chat. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And then also, if you want to support Dave, Jack, and I, obviously for free, you can like and subscribe, help the video get out to other fans like y'all, because we're really trying to build a community here because let me tell you, BFR is the #1 show by the fans like us. As you can see, as we go through the same pain and frustration as you for the fans, it's the #1 fan show. So we're really trying to build that community here. If you also want to support us fiscally, if you got some money laying around because you're not spending it on Bears tickets, which you should not because they suck, you can support us at the BFRstore.com where we have hats, hoodies, shirts. Holidays are coming up. Black Friday, perfect time to get your loved one something special. They can rock Bears apparel, Bears adjacent apparel without being embarrassed about actually being a Bears fan. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of like like, oh, I'm a Bears fan, but like people won't shit on me. So it's a perfect way to support. And then also, if you want to join our ongoing community, we do have a Patreon, the BFR Den on Patreon, where we do have exclusives like monthly giveaways, private Zoom calls, mailbag episodes, much more. We actually just dropped our November monthly schedule today on the Patreon, so you can see what we have coming out. If you want to join for free in there, you definitely can. It doesn't cost a dime, but there is a rookie Grizzly tier that has, it's a lower tier that has certain exclusives. And then we have our premium Hall of Fame tier, which has even more premium exclusives. So if you want to do that, you can support us on there. I think the tiers are pretty cheap. It's like $3, like $6 or $5. It's like a cup of coffee, right? And it's only once a month. So if you want to, you don't have to, but if you do, we really do appreciate all the money from the store and the Patreon. Just come back into the show to make it so we can keep giving you fire, beautiful pregame and postgame live. So much appreciated. And then one final thing, as you can see here on our banner, we do have a voicemail. It's very easy. You guys can call in at any time, whether it's before the game, during the game, after the game, or just during the week. You see something that you want us to talk about or some headline that you're like, oh my gosh, like, did you guys see this? Call in. It's very simple. You can go to the link right there, speakpipe.com/the BFR podcast. And all you do is like leaving it's like leaving a voice note. You just hit like this button and then you start talking. You hold the button down, you let go. Boom, it saves the recording. It gets sent to us, and then we can upload it on the show, and we can play them. We always play them. We always do. We play them on our pre-games if we have any, and then we typically see them on our post-games, but we play them on our post-games as well. So another way for you to get on the show, we show support to all y'all. We really do appreciate everything. Thank you all for tuning in to another show, especially when this team makes us all want to jump off a cliff. So I appreciate it. Speaking of jumping off a cliff, some of these headlines will probably make you jump off a cliff. Okay. Speaking of support, Tito here, OG here with the $2 super chat. Really do appreciate that. He says, I like Dark Dave. LOL, too funny. Yeah, he is kind of funny when he is dark. It's a depressive Dave has a lot more jokes. So
I like this guy a lot more.
I like it, but I like it, but I want my team to win. So I'm kind of like,
I would sacrifice losses to keep this.
Dave.
Look at him; he's defeated.
I know he is. He has nothing to say. It's hilarious.
It's just been a brutal 2 weeks, man.
Still popping out. He might be depressed, but he's still got some great headlines. So let's get to the headlines first. I will say this might be our best week of headlines. I'll start here first with Bear Force One, and I say that because this offense is
fantasy football.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it's because we're facing the Patriots, right? That's the national team.
Oh, that's cool. That's
cool. That's why I did it. So I think this offense is going to soar against the Patriots. God. So because of that, I have Bear Force One, but I really do. I had my bold take with 3 offensive touchdowns, and the even bolder take, maybe a sadder take, is that they actually score in their first offensive drive a touchdown. Yeah. So I think we handle business. Bear Force One, baby.
They're going to score, but it's going to be because of a pick 6.
We'll take it.
And
we'll take it. We'll take it. That's points. I'll take it. We're going to soar somehow. We're taking flight. And we're gonna go. We're down here.
Caleb's deep ball is gonna soar into the stand.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that might happen. Watch this motherfucker have like the deep ball.
I hope so.
This game.
Prove me wrong. Anyways,
that's your headline. No, all right. Let's go to Dave's. Dave's is pretty good here too.
Mayday. Yeah, it's exactly how you think. Mayday. What is that? Is that like boat talk or something like that?
That's like when airplanes go down, I think.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So your Bear Force One is going
mine's taking off.
But yeah, I'm doing Mayday. Obviously, spell it Drake May, so MAYE -day, and it's gonna be it's gonna be hell. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong, but we'll see.
The question is, if you reverse jinx work, is this going to be like? Is this?
I won't. Well, I'm not going to pick them against the Packers because we said on the show that we'll never pick the Bears to beat the Packers until they beat the Packers.
Right.
And so, at least for the next 2 weeks, now we win the next 2. Dark Dave might take a little. He might go in that closet back there for a little bit.
Yes. The whole show back there.
No, we need that doll to replace. So no one knows what we're talking about. But Jack bought this Bears doll.
Don't play it.
And don't play the sound, but it is the thing is pretty creepy.
Just bring it. Yeah.
That is
neck's broken.
that looks like it comes to life at like 3 a.m. every night and just watches over Jack.
It's my emotional support.
That is the scariest. That's the scariest emotional support I've ever seen. But it's funny though. Let's go to yours, Jack.
Let's see what Jack got. I'm curious here.
Monsters of the Midway. This team's mid as fuck. We're 4-4. Can't win anything. We're probably going to lose this. Fuck Shane Waldron. Fuck Matt Eberflus. Caleb Williams. It might be mid. Don't know. Lose by 4 points, probably more.
Honestly, great headlines. I think those are all great. Spot on. So
Monsters of the Midway.
No, but it's mid. It is kind of, it's mid. We are mid. Literally 4-4.
Are you dragging me?
No, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Well, it's better than the previous.
It's better than some. You've had some bad ones.
Yours last week was atrocious. No one talked about
what was mine? What was it?
It was very forgettable, clearly.
Yeah,
I remember. I technically remembered it, but it was resilient. Yes, you were completely wrong, but we all were. So
it would have worked. Yeah. Anyways.
They were.
I don't even have the energy to fight about my. I don't even have the energy to fight,
Yeah, we're losing resiliency as well over here as fans. So.
I'll argue about anything you want right now. We can hash it out. Anything you want. I'll take this.
There's nothing to argue about. This team just fucking sucks.
Save it for the post game pod.
For sure. Okay. Any questions, Jack? Or anything?
Yeah, we can speed run these.
Let's see these. Yeah. Okay, we'll go through these quick. We have Chad Maines. Are you guys scared that Eberflus is on the contract through next year? We talked about this. It doesn't matter if he doesn't perform, he's gone. I think that's fair. It doesn't matter. Like they'll just cut it. They've done it with other coaches. Am I
scared? No.
And if he wins, great. He's locked in.
I'm not scared.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why that was funny. Dark Dave is funny. Okay. Let's go DDM.
This dude's like, it is. I don't like it. I don't think anymore.
DDM.
I don't like it anymore.
Sorry, I can't read this. DDM.
DDCM
571. Jeez. To be fair, it's
tough. DDM. Fine. Yeah. Letters
thank
are
you
tough.
Thank you for the question here. If for some reason they traded DJ, what round draft pick would they get for in return? I think they'd probably get a first. Yeah, no question.
If they got a second, I'm going with that trade. I'm part of that package. Wherever team
I think he would get a. Well, look, this is my hypothesis though, or my context is they can't trade him right now. So like, I'm assuming he's still going to have a pretty good season. His value would still be high, so I think it'd still be a first.
Dude, yeah, his contract alone
is his contract alone. Yeah, his contract alone is cheap.
The production's going to be there.
At what cost though?
Well, first round.
Yeah, no one wants a fucking baby man. They want
Who's our new head coach for next season?
Fuck if we know, dude. I'm sorry.
I have no idea. Ben Johnson.
Yeah, but that's going to cost, and they have never. They paid the most for Flus ever, so they have to do it twice.
Yeah, well, if they want a new stadium, they better at least pay for a new head coach.
For sure. That's why they need a new stadium, so they have the money to pay for a new head coach. Crooked commish here. How many wins do the Bears need to for Eberflus to keep his job? I think we talked about this. He gets double digits. I think he's good.
9 could be risky.
9 depending on
who he beats.
9 depending on if he goes 4-6 in the NFC North. I don't care what the record is. If he goes 3-3 or 4-6, that's enough where the talks could be more positive because those are quality good teams, and that's the whole point. Is you have to beat those teams to make the playoffs. So
that's what matters. They win a division game, but
that's possible. I'm not arguing that.
Don't.
Philip Paul Masano, YouTube. I would have never guessed that, Dave, with how this episode's gone. Guys, what's your thought on this Bears team going into the second half of the season? Dave just answered that, so he doesn't think we're winning an NFC North game, which is very possible. Any other ones?
I don't know. I hope they do, but I don't see it.
Any other shout-outs or anything for that? I know we did a little bit later, so me and I got it.
This is a new shout-out thing we could do.
Yeah, let's do this. Mitch or Mike Escobar, let me know if I'm wrong on that. Hashtag Dark Day. Plastic Rockets with the fluke, which I'm going to start using. If we lose this one, he's Coach Flu to me. Hashtag OG, need that NyQuil for the fluke. Yes, you do.
That's funny.
Then Mike said, I just said his name right last time. I think it says Mitch. Yes. Hashtag OG. Yeah, Mitch is my guy, and Bears better win this damn game.
I agree.
Fuck yeah, they better win. It's a horrible team. What are we doing?
4-4. 4-4 versus 2-7, but the Bears could easily be 3-5.
They could be 3-5, and they could be 6-1.
Yeah, it's such a crazy. Yeah, this team's so close either direction.
Because remember when things were hot, even after our win streak, there was all 6 games had been decided by not 6. All 5 games have been decided by a touchdown or less. So any of those games could be like you're 6-0 or you're 0-6.
Yeah. Well, hey, I know I've been a little bit more sad, but like I said, I want the Bears to win. I hope they win. I don't want to have another podcast episode where it's like loss, especially in a 3-game losing streak. It'll be disappointing to have a 3-game win streak followed by 3-game losing streak. It's like it would be tough. And I think the media in general, I think definitely would die down if the Bears win this week. But if they lose, I think we can all agree
it's going to be 10 times worse.
It would be so bad.
Oh,
it will
10
be 10
times worse. 10 times. Not even question. All of this that we just had on the show will be amplified to the extreme. It'll be the lowest of the low. It can't get any lower. So here's to the Sunday. No pressure, Bears. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. All right. Well, hey, appreciate y'all again. Hit that like button if you can. We'll be back. We have a noon game, right? Yeah. Noon o'clock. What the hell? Noon o'clock. Bears will be live probably a couple 30 minutes after typically?
Yeah, probably 30, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, hopefully with a win and no drama. What was that about the beard? What did he say?
No, he's going to have, if the Bears keep losing, you're going to be, the Bears got Dave growing a beard.
This is coming off probably tomorrow morning. I'm getting annoyed by it, but yeah.
Cannot have drama with the DJ Moore on your team. That's what I learned.
All right,
that's such a shocking story. I can't get it. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Hit that like button. We'll be back here in about 48 hours. Hopefully with better vibes, better mood. Appreciate everyone that tuned in. Again, road to 10,000 sub is still underway. I think we're almost 8,000. So appreciate y'all's support, and we'll be back on Sunday.
See y'all then. Peace.